Is she ever going to get to the point where she literally looks in the mirror and goes, nobody's interested in my jam or my life, nobody likes me, shut the hell up?
Earlier today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
Stop acting like the Tin Pot tycoon and get a damn job.
Harry says, how do you explain to someone who you've just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy? Especially to an American. Like, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the f***ing queen.
Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
There's another bag.
And that confuses people.
7,000 a day. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work, Meghan. Give up now. I'm not joking.
Meghan Markle tried to make jam the next big royal flex. But instead of applause, she got a spoonful of backlash. What started as a luxury fruit spread with gold-tinted branding quickly turned into one of the internet's messiest takedowns. And the worst part? It's not just about jam anymore.
Her imposter syndrome is adorable. I don't know who she's trying to convince. Probably us, since we talk about it pretty regularly.
Meghan's latest project was supposed to be charming. Jars of fruit spread, wrapped in pretty tissue, and sold with phrases like small batch crafted and sunshine in a jar, for $14 each. It was her soft launch into lifestyle stardom. A touch of Montecito, a dash of royal. But TikTok had other plans. Users filmed themselves trying the jam, only to find it sliding off toast like syrup. Influencers looked confused. One baker tilted the jar and let it pour out like fruit soup. "This is jam?" she laughed. Suddenly, the Duchess's big moment turned into a meme. And people weren't just laughing. They were angry. Because for $14, you expect more than dripping jelly and royal ribbon. At first, it looked like an overreaction. Maybe the product was just runny? Maybe people weren't storing it right. But then came the receipts. Her own brand account had posted a slow-motion video showing thick golden jam catching the sunlight. Gorgeous, glossy, perfect. Except in real life, it wasn't. A pastry chef compared Meghan's jam to her grandmother's homemade preserves. "This isn't jam," she said. "This is fruit syrup in a fancy jar." Then food expert Donna Collins chimed in, on live TV. "This doesn't meet the definition of jam," she said. "There's no proper gel structure. It's not holding."
Once at a gig, the back was Harry and William, Madonna and Paul McCartney. Not one of them paid.
People listened. Her words went viral. And suddenly, Meghan's jam wasn't just a failed product. It was a failed promise. Here's where it gets stickier. In reality, something can only be called jam if it holds its shape and contains a certain percentage of sugar and fruit solids. Meghan's didn't. But she never technically called it jam. The label reads, loose fruit spread with a soft line about natural flow. Smart, because it dodges the rules.
After all, she's got scam jam to sell, and now an exciting new range of apricot spread.
There's also a tiny note at the bottom of the jar that says, best spooned, not spread. But that didn't help when the product was being shown on scones and pastries across social media. Regulators started watching, especially in California, where sugary spreads have stricter definitions. If they decide her product was marketed as jam but doesn't meet the criteria, that's a fine of up to $10,000 per batch.
Is her scam jam online store in business? Is it on hold? Or is it dead in the water?
And just like that, the pretty packaging turned into potential evidence. Let's talk about what's inside the jar. Meghan's brand hints at local orchards and artisanal fruit. But paperwork shows something else. The apricots came from Illinois, shipped in bulk from a supplier that usually sells to school cafeterias and discount yogurt brands. They cost about 32 cents a pound. Then they were driven 2,000 miles to a co-packing facility in California. There they were mixed with sugar, poured into fancy jars, sealed with wax, and wrapped with custom ribbon.
I'm opening this cylinder now. If you're watching, what a ta-da!
It tastes of entitlement, greed, avarice and deception.
Total cost to produce one jar? Just under $2. Retail price? $14. That's a markup of nearly 400%. This wasn't Grandma's recipe in a royal kitchen. It was industrial fruit, packed up with a royal spin. And that's not all. When Meghan's site launched, it claimed sold out in 20 minutes. Social media exploded. Heart emojis, flame emojis. Everyone wanted to grab a jar. But here's the catch. According to one food distributor, the first apricot drop included only around 1,100 jars. That's not a lot, especially when dozens are sent out as PR gifts before the public even sees the shop page. So yes, it sold out fast, but mostly because there wasn't much to begin with, not because thousands were rushing to the website. This is a classic move. It creates fake scarcity. You hype the drop, limit supply, and make it look like a frenzy. Brands like Supreme do it with clothes. Meghan tried it with jam. But once people figured it out, they weren't impressed. They felt tricked. And a limited drop doesn't taste as good when the jar inside feels mass-produced.
Meghan, it's just like we see right through your fake behavior, and no amount of saying how kind you are is going to make people think, oh, isn't she so kind? All of the nasty things you have done, we know.
These two are not sincere people. They say that they want their privacy while going on every television show, writing books, doing 6 hours of Netflix. They're not very likable, and people are tired.
To settle the debate, 3 pastry chefs were invited for a blind test in a Santa Monica kitchen. They were given 3 jars, no labels, no hints. One was Meghan's, the others, Bon Maman and Trader Joe's. Chef Ilana Reyes took the first bite. It's thin, way too acidic, tastes like fruit from a can. Chef Marcus Lee agreed. Flat, no depth, like someone strained all the life out of it. Only Chef Alyssa Boone had something nice to say. The texture is smooth. I'll give it that. When the jars were revealed, Meghan's ranked last in flavor. The only thing it beat the others on? Packaging.
I nearly entered rehab yesterday. That is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen on television in my life.
This business model is just useless. It's useless.
And then came the numbers. Lab tests showed Meghan's spread had 12 grams of sugar per tablespoon. That's 15% higher than the other 2. Her health-conscious branding didn't match the sugar bomb inside. As one chef joked, joyful mornings? Sure. Joyful dentist appointments, too. Meghan's fans were told they were buying quality, something special. But when ingredient costs were broken down, the truth wasn't so magical. That's when people started calling it what it felt like, a royal ripoff. Just when the jam drama was starting to fade, Meghan's $12 hibiscus tea brought it right back. 8 sachets, floral tin, wrapped like a gift. But watchdog group Fair Pantry investigated and found something familiar. Prairie Bloom Botanicals in Illinois sold the same blend in bulk. The ingredients, the scent, even the tiny notes of vanilla matched exactly. Their price? 36 sachets for $14.99. Meghan's version? 8 for $12. That's nearly 5 times the markup. One nutritionist on Instagram brewed both side by side. Prairie Bloom steeped to a deep ruby red in 3 minutes. Meghan's took 5 and still looked watery. Online, a new wave of posts followed, this time with a fresh tagline. Jam in the morning, scam in the afternoon. Lawyers began paying attention, and they were not impressed. A consumer protection firm started gathering complaints and receipts. Why? Because once you charge luxury prices and promise handcrafted goods, the rules change. You have to prove what you say. Meghan's labels mentioned small batch and ethical sourcing, but documents showed industrial processing and mass-shipped ingredients. That gap is where legal problems live. California laws don't allow the term artisanal on anything made in automated equipment. Meghan's co-packer uses machinery that fills hundreds of jars an hour. That's not small batch, that's production. So now the team faces questions about mislabeling, misrepresentation, and potential fines that could reach into the millions. And this time, no ribbon can cover it up. Across California, retailers started pulling back. One market chain in Santa Monica was planning to feature Meghan's line in a seasonal display. That changed fast. Once the TikTok videos and news reports gained traction, that shelf space was reassigned. Another boutique grocer admitted they were holding stock in the back room, waiting for official clarification. Even online shoppers began posting screenshots of abandoned carts. Many had placed orders, then saw the reviews, and backed out. The website may have shown sold out, but traffic data told a different story. It wasn't just about the product anymore. It was about trust. And once that breaks, it's hard to rebuild.
My gosh, I work so hard, and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard. And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. Yeah. It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that, and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line, and what's the cadence of it, and what's the photography that we want to do and what do I want to wear for those shoots, while also editing all the time-coded notes for season 2 of With Love Meghan, and then being in edits for the podcast and being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Yes, the work ethic must just be grueling. Writing social media captions, deciding what she's going to wear, being a mum. Prue, it's too much for me. There's only small doses of that podcast I can consume because
I think you did
it's
very
just too
well
painful.
lasting that long. I mean, it is so. That is enough to make you go to the toilet. I've got to say, it is revolting. That woman is just something else. So he's made his bed, poor H, as she calls him. What a silly boy he is, and he's going to learn the hard way, I think.
It's just exhausting watching her, and I love how she rabbits on about her children and her love of family. How long since she's spoken to a poor, sick father? Such a hypocrite. It's exhausting and hard to watch, Rita.
And separated Harry from his family and did it whilst his much-loved grandmother was ailing. I mean, let's not forget that. Prue McSween, Tina McQueen, thank you so much for your time.
Now the brand faces a crossroads. Meghan could fix the recipe, source local fruit, drop the price, and relaunch with transparency. That might actually work. People love a comeback. Or she could cancel the line. Blame the press. Say her focus has shifted. Quietly refund everyone and walk away.
I don't know, is that jam?
Ew. It's wet.
So bitter. Hi, I'm with the Daily Mail, and we're here to see if Meghan Markle's jam compares with some popular brands.
Let's get into it.
It's very sweet.
Very, very sugary.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I could throw that on some toast.
What's overheard, Meghan's is not as sweet, it's a bit watery. I'd say that was not Meghan's.
Oh, it's already different. It's like, it smells like earthy. Whoa.
Doesn't even smell very good.
Tart, sweet, seedy.
A little bit on the runnier side to me.
It's kind of sour. Tastes kind of like, I don't know. It tastes gross though.
It just kind of tastes like syrup. You'd put it on a McDonald's sundae.
It's barely even jam. It's more of like a no sugar sauce.
Do you like it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, like
This is jam. Like, why? This is chunky, like the first one.
That's somewhere in the middle.
Like when you can actually feel strawberries.
$14 now. I would not.
I'm not a fan.
No.
It was good, but $14 worth.
Meghan's jam just lacks a lot of structural integrity. It's got kind of the je ne sais quoi of a jam, but it doesn't quite get.
The third option? Dig in. Defend the pricing. Keep the branding. Fight the lawsuits. Hope the noise dies down. But this isn't just about jam or tea anymore. It's about what people expect when a famous face puts their name on a label. Meghan wanted to build a lifestyle empire, but now every shelf is starting to feel like a courtroom. So what happens next? Does the Duchess double down or clean it all up? Will this be a redemption story or a retail cautionary tale? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about fruit and sugar. It's about honesty. And no matter how fancy the jar, the truth always finds a way to spill. What would you do if you were in Meghan's kitchen right now? Let us know in the comments.